This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and get the latest from Alpena Community College with Dr. Don McMaster. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first guest today is Kathy Mcclure, and she is from St. Vincent de Paul Society. Good morning.
Good morning.
So you are the pantry coordinator for St. Vincent de Paul.
Correct.
A very important job. Give me an idea of how your pantry operates.
We have a lot of volunteers. I'm the only employee on that side. The rest is all retiree volunteers mostly. Great bunch of people to work with. Been very fortunate for that. Otherwise, we couldn't do what we do. Our pantry is open 2 days a week, on Tuesdays and Thursdays from noon to 2:30.
Okay.
It's an emergency food pantry, and people are allowed to come once a month if needed.
All right.
Our numbers currently are kind of up and down. It depends on what's going on at the time and stuff. And if it wasn't for our community helping us out like they are, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. There's a lot of programs that help us out, like Feeding America and the Meijer Simply Give program that's actually running right now for us. Through programs like that and a lot of community help, even other different stores and stuff that are willing to give, and just the constant donations, monetary and food.
Okay, that was going to be my next question. Do people donate food or just monetary donations?
Both. Food, monetary, even bathroom products.
Okay.
We had a box of toilet paper on the door one day, so you can't argue with that.
No,
you know?
no. So we encourage people, if they would like to donate, I mean, pick St. Vincent as your donating place for the month, and
Yes.
and collect supplies, non-perishable food items.
Correct.
Toilet papers, any kind of paper products probably you can use.
Right, and some people have even brought us just gift cards from stores. That works
perfect.
too. That works too.
Okay.
So I'm very careful with the money to make it go as far as I can.
Now, I've had the opportunity to go there before with someone, and I was amazed at the quality. You had bananas and potatoes and oranges, and you had fresh produce and things, and breads. I was amazed at the quality and the quantity of the items that you had there.
Yes, and this winter we were very fortunate. We had some local farmers that their chickens kind of went a little crazy. So for months we were able to give farm fresh eggs to people. That was an awesome opportunity.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Yep. And saved us a lot of money that we didn't have to do, and we could put that money towards other things. Because along with our pantry, we also have a referral office that helps people in financial situations that we can kind of direct them to get them on a better path.
So now you said they can come once a month. So are there income qualifications in order to come and get grocery items? How does that work?
We have a standard that's set through the Food Bank of Eastern Michigan, but we figure if you are there, then you're in need, and we will find some way to help you along.
Okay.
That's our goal. And what's nice about our organization is what comes here stays here.
Okay, perfect. So how do people get in touch with you to find out how they can get on that monthly distribution list if they need to be?
Well, right now we're doing a door-to-door service. We have cones set up when people drive up on those days, and they come up to the door and they call the number. We have a pantry line now. They call that number, we ask a few questions, bring it out to the door, they load it up, and they're there maybe 10 minutes.
Wow, it's amazing.
Yeah, we've had some great opportunities with that.
Now, you had mentioned the Meijer program, and Bill Morford wanted to make sure that you went into depth on the Meijer program because he said it's so wonderful.
It
So
is.
tell me about that.
Yes, since Meijer came to town, they offered us this opportunity called Simply Give. And right now it is running until July 3rd. So people can donate through the store, they can send in money, or just go right to the Meijer store itself. And they can do a donation, minimum $10.
Okay.
On June 19th, they have what they call a double match day.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a great day. And what they do is for every $10, they double match that. So it becomes
Wow.
$30.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's really wonderful program that they have.
So you would go into Meijer, go up to the service desk.
Right at the checkouts too. There is things right at the end of the checkouts too that says our name on it, and the cards are there too.
So you can actually donate $10 that day, and
Yep.
then it becomes $30.
Just on June 19th. Other than that, you can donate $10 anytime
Okay.
during the program.
So June 19th, we got to make sure we get everybody to Meijer on
right.
June 19th
For
and
double
donate.
match days.
That is amazing.
It's a great program, and we've been very careful with that and how we do things, and the fact that Meijer has been so willing to work with us.
And you know, with all the show is for nonprofit groups and organizations, and I've just been amazed since COVID became a reality in our new way of life. all the nonprofit groups and organizations, how they're thinking outside the box, how they're getting bigger and better, how they're becoming more innovative, and how they're finding ways and new ideas to serve the public. And it sounds like you folks at St. Vincent are doing the same exact things.
Right. Where during last summer when everything was pretty much shut down, the food pantry was never closed. I kept it open the whole time.
Wow, that's amazing. So where are you with volunteers right now?
We're doing okay. Anyone ever wants to volunteer, all they got to do is contact us.
Okay.
Well, sometimes we need them for the store, sometimes we need them for that, and sometimes other things come up where we need help too.
And your the retail store is probably one of the busiest places in Alpena.
Yes.
I go there and talk with Hope and Sherry quite often, and I'm just amazed at how busy that store is. I mean, you're only allowed to have so many people in there.
Yes.
But I see people with bags and carts and tons of things. So grateful that you're there, and that store looks like any retail store in town. It's neat and tidy and clean, and everything's arranged very nicely.
Yes.
That staff there does a phenomenal job.
Hope and Sherry have got the staff going very well on that, and the staff understands how we help people, how this is a kind of a circle. It starts here and comes back all the way around. So.
Okay, now you also mentioned that people can get other kinds of assistance from you. You have
Yes.
a business office that helps them?
It's called the referral office, what we
Okay.
call it, yes. And people can call a number that we have for that also. And they have volunteers that have the phone with them, and they can make an appointment. Right now our office is closed for that, but they still take the phone calls, and they can get people steered in the right direction or figure out some way to help them get out of the bind that they're in.
Because a lot of times you don't really, there before the grace of God go I. You never know what's going to happen to you the next day, and so you don't have those resources at your fingertips, but you need help.
Yeah.
So it's wonderful that you're there. And do you have a phone number people can call to get more information?
Okay, for the food pantry,
Okay.
they can call 989-464-6375. And if there's no answer, please leave a message. For our referral office for financial assistance, that number is 989-884-1341.
Okay, and June 19th at Meyer, please come in and donate $10 because it instantly becomes $30.
Yes.
And if you have any, if you want to make St. Vincent your person for the month, just drop off some non-perishable food items, some cash, gift cards, paper products. Anything can be used for the people in our community that need these services.
Oh, definitely. Right now, a little bit goes a long ways. We're averaging like 30 people on those days, but sometimes there's more. 30 families, excuse me, not people, 30 families. And we've got some families anywhere from one. We have one family that's got 11 and several
Wow.
with 9. So we've had a lot of extra things lately. We've been very fortunate, so we can give a little extra right now.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you so much for being here today. Tell everyone there, the volunteers and staff, thank you so much for doing what you do in our community every day, and it's much appreciated by all of us here at WBKB TV.
Thank you also.
Thank you. I'll be right back following these messages.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Dr. Don McMaster, president of Alpena Community College, and I'm pleased to have as our guest this morning Larry Thompson, criminal justice instructor at ACC, retired as of the end of this semester. Welcome, Larry.
Thank you, and thank you for having me.
Well, Larry, you did a wonderful job for ACC. When we sat at the table in my office, and you said, I can give you 5 years, you gave us 5 great years. And what's your thoughts as you're moving into retirement?
Well, I'll tell you, first of all, it was a great experience. I would not have traded it for anything. I had 35 years in law enforcement and 5 years with our local drug court. And of all of those experiences, I would say teaching probably was my highlight, because that was my opportunity to give back, to work with those students, our next generation of criminal justice professionals. And it just felt good knowing that I was making a small impact on those individuals going into the profession.
Wonderful. And it's been a trying time. Law enforcement is a difficult job. I'm sure you know it better than I do. In the best of times, the last year or two, it's been a real challenge. What do you tell students to try and get them, to understand the reality of the profession and some of the challenges they may face as officers?
In the first day of class, when I meet with my students for the first time, I ask them if they're getting into criminal justice specifically, why? And I ask them to hang on to that thought. If they're getting into the profession, much as I did, to make a difference, to help people, I hear a lot of different reasons, but the majority of the reasons basically melt down to they want to make a difference. They want to have an impact in their community. And I tell them, you can still do that. That is still what the profession is all about. Making a difference, speaking for those who can't speak for themselves. And I still think that's true. I know it's true. For some students, law enforcement's not the career field that they thought it was, and for those students, typically within the first couple of years, their in-class experience as well as the other experiences we're able to give them that impression that, okay, this is not for me. But the vast majority have pretty much made up their mind, and for those students, I just feel like what I'm doing is just impressing that upon them, encouraging them. I look at myself as an encourager. Not only am I imparting little bits of information that can help them, but I'm also encouraging them that they are in the right field and they can make a difference. Law enforcement, the career in law enforcement today is no different than it was 30 years ago. There are different difficulties, there are different aspects of law enforcement today that are challenged much more than they were maybe 20, 30 years ago. But the bottom line, the job is still the same.
And essential.
And essential, yes, definitely. We need police officers probably today more than ever. And we need to be training our police officers, and this is one of the things I've pushed for, and I know Sheriff Kalashewski is also working toward, and that's getting those individuals who are out there interacting with people on a daily basis the ability to deal with mental health. Mental health issues today are probably one of our biggest challenges in law enforcement and in the entire criminal justice system. Our courts, our probation, corrections especially, are dealing with mental health issues on a daily basis. And we can't expect our police officers, our corrections officers, our probation officers, our judges to go out there on a daily basis and know exactly what this person is thinking. We have to give them the tools to make that difference. And I think if we can accomplish that in today's world, we've come a long way.
Yeah, I think you're right on there. Societally, mental health and mental health treatment is a serious issue, I think.
Very serious.
And how we do that and the support we give to folks who are struggling there. What are some of the highlights that you recall or care to share about your experience with students? Or maybe I should frame it a different way. What did you enjoy about working with students?
I'll tell you, the one thing that I truly enjoyed more than anything, I enjoyed the teaching part too, but I enjoyed getting students involved. In my first 3.5 years of my 5 years, and you have to remember I also taught over 10 years as an adjunct, so I was teaching part-time. That really got my desire peaked. And then when I had the opportunity to become a full-time instructor, I knew that's what I needed to do and wanted to do. But really what I really enjoyed the most was the interactive portion of teaching. And what I started to say was my first 3.5 years, we were hands-on. I was able to do a mock crime scene, which was, students loved that opportunity to go in and actually use the techniques that I had been teaching them all semester. Taking photographs, taking measurements, writing a report, all those things were a huge benefit to those students. Unfortunately, with COVID, we had to step away from that. And that was one of the biggest negative impacts in my teaching profession, if you will, as in most teaching capabilities, was that inability to have that personal face-to-face contact. But I actually had students doing community service projects in one of the classes, and it was just a highlight to see those students on trunk or treat night. They participated. They had to go out and get their own treats for kids, and then we all met behind City Hall, and those kids gave out the candy, and to see the smiles on their faces, some of them dressed up. Just that idea that they're part of the community, and that was huge. Some other community projects that we did, and like I say, when COVID hit and we had to literally over a weekend go to all remote, that really, not only was it a challenge, but it also took away that hands-on. And I very sincerely hope that my successor is able to bring that back as soon as possible, because students really got a lot out of that.
I think that's such an important point. I mean, COVID has really disrupted certainly the face-to-face, hands-on part of education, post-secondary education. You're so right about that. But your instinct for connecting students to the community and seeing that their role as police officers is really embedded in the community, and understanding the community, I think is right on point. And we'll have to make sure that your successor brings that same mentality to it.
I'm hopeful of that, yes. And actually teach a class in community policing, and that's what it's all about, is getting students to realize that they are not separate from the community, they are a part of the community. And I think when students realize that, I think they've got 98% of the job done.
I think
the other 2% is truly police work, but connecting with community partners and collaborating with community members is a huge part, especially more than ever in today's world.
Agreed. Larry did a great job for Alpena Community College and its students and the community, both as a teacher and as a law enforcement officer, and just have the highest regard for you and thank you. Enjoy your retirement. You did great work.
Thank you. And I just want to give kudos to all of the staff and faculty at Alpena Community College. They were a great group to work with. I'm continuing to teach in the Corrections Academy, so I'll continue to interact with all of those individuals, and I'm looking forward to that. But I can't say enough good about this faculty and staff at Alpena Community College. They truly care about the students that they're working with.
Thank you for that, and thank you for all you've done. Thank you, folks, for watching Talk of the Town. We'll see you again next week.
This has been Talk of the Town with your host, Nancy Smitham and Dr. Don McMaster. For a list of community events taking place in Northeast Michigan, please visit our website at wbkb11.com and click on our community link. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.